Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today it's going to be a bit of a different kind of video, I think. So obviously the normal stuff that I do is more businessy, girly, but today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. And I thought that this would be a really nice way to start like the first YouTube video of the year as well. So this year I feel like on my goals list I really wanted to dedicate like a bit more time to my faith and kind of figuring that out in terms of like what it is. I'd always say that like I'm someone that does believe in God, and I have from like a very early age, but I feel like being mixed race and like having multiple ethnicities, so on my mum's side of the family they are Christian, and then on my dad's side of the family they are a mix of Muslim and Hindu, so it's like I've grown up around so many different religions, cultures, all of that kind of thing, that I've never really given myself the time to be like, okay, this is what I believe in definite and this is what do you get what I mean? I've kind of just always been able to, I don't know, I feel like when you're mixed, you have like different hats that you put on. Today I'm going to be this hat, today I'm going to be that hat. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like I've always lived my life in that. And last year I said that I wanted to read the Bible and read the Quran, and I didn't complete it, and I was reading all these other business books and I was like, do you know what, this year I'm gonna focus less on books. So normally I have like a list of books that I want to read and stuff, but this year I was like, do you know what, I'm not even gonna do that, I'm gonna actually sit there. So yeah, this year I'm dedicating to kind of learning, understanding like Christianity and Islam on like a deeper level, just kind of like come to grips with what it is that I believe, because I feel like last year was a very, very weird one for me. Like towards the end of the last year, if you see my podcast, my most recent one, you'll know that like behind the scenes it was like a little bit heavy in terms of what I was going through. Obviously I'm not going to share what that was, but you know, you have some moments like, is God even real? Like what's going on here? Like I just genuinely don't understand. But then I also had moments where I was like, I was praying for stuff and then it would happen like the next day or something like that. Like it was so weird, and I feel like that was God kind of saying like, I am real, you are on the right path, that kind of thing. But yeah, I do want to really be a woman of God and a woman of faith this year. Well, just my future self, like that's what I see for my future. Have I got hair on my face? But yeah, so I'm going to start off with reading. I did actually go to church as well for the first time since I've been a kid. And that was like a very different experience within itself. I went with one of my friends, Lara. She literally just messaged me. She was like, girl, we've been speaking about church, because last year we said that like we wanted to kind of do that. And I have been christened and stuff like that, like I've been baptised. So I was like, do you know what, I do want to give it a go as an adult, like this whole community. And I felt so nervous going to church for the first time by myself. Like I literally felt like, oh, I don't know. And I feel like that's also an element of it, because when I was younger I used to go to mosque and I feel like I wasn't fully accepted, or do you know what I mean, because I didn't know certain stuff, or it wasn't. So I feel like there's been a bit of a deterrent, but I feel like I've always felt God wherever I go, whether that's in church, mosque, gurdwara, temple. Like I've been all over the place and I just always find like a lot of peace from it. And also like a lot of my best friends and women that I do have around me in my circle, they're all women of faith. So it's not one faith, it's like they all have different faiths but they all believe in God and stuff like that. So they're very grounded, which is why I feel like I am the way that I am as well. But yeah, maybe this is going to be my little series about me kind of exploring faith. I want to kind of update you guys, and obviously like any kind of chapters or study or whatever you want to call it, I might do and kind of use as my digital diary, like my digital learning diary, to kind of look back on my spiritual journey. But yeah, when one of my best friends, Calissa, she was like, Lima, what are you? Like, what do you class yourself as? Do you? And it really made me sit there and think, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is an area of my life, and I feel like I'm so dedicated to learning other stuff. Like I'm such a geek, like I love learning stuff. So I feel like, do you know what, why not do this but for both sides? Then I feel like once I fully dug into faith and all of that, then I can make a decision for myself. I feel like I have always leaned towards Islam and I don't know why that is, especially because Christianity and the Bible and stuff is in English, so maybe naturally I should have been leaning towards more there. But I feel like Islam has always just, I don't know if it's my name Alimar as well, like I don't know. But yeah, this is going to be my digital diary in terms of getting to know faith and stuff like that so far. But I feel like my life is kind of, not testimony, I don't want to use that word as such, but I feel like it is that, as to good stuff that is protected. And you know, like whenever I ask for something, or whenever I've kind of been dedicated, and I feel like a lot of the time we've been rushing for goals, and like the last one that I've said, like to pray over your year, I feel like there is no better time than God's timing. And I feel like that is my word for this year. I think it's, well, there's two words, but yeah, God's timing, I think that's what it is for me, because I feel like certain versions of myself, I wouldn't have been able to like walk into an opportunity or something, but I feel like going on this journey, I feel like there's been clear indicators that I am doing what I'm meant to be doing. Do you get what I mean? Like everyone has their own little calling, and I feel like I've now found my thing, and I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like also at the same time is I need to pray for like discipline and stuff like that, to be able to keep what I'm working on, to be able to do all these different things. And I feel like faith is something that really grounds me and makes me feel safe. So that is something that I do really want to work on this year. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. So I don't know where this is literally going to end up. But I'm hoping to look back on it at the end of next year and just be like, do you know what, I'm so proud of myself because I did give it a good go. And people might be a bit confused because they might see me, I don't know, in different things, like going to different religious things that aren't the same religion over the next year, and they're probably going to be thinking like, what on earth is she doing? But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They're saying like, I'm one of those people as well, like I wouldn't want to call myself a certain religion if I didn't fully abide, I don't know if that's the right word, but do everything within that religion. Do you get what I mean? Like I have drank alcohol in the past, I still do drink alcohol currently. I've smoked in the past, I don't smoke now. You know, all those kind of things like to do with sin, like I've had sex before marriage, all those different kind of things. And it's like I really want to explore those areas and just kind of understand, because also I'm kind of like a politics geek, and I know that back throughout history, faith and religion, especially Christianity, has been kind of used throughout different periods and different like certain things. I don't want to get too technical on YouTube, but yeah, so I just feel like I've kind of had negative stereotypes or negative motives in the back of my mind because of that. But yeah, I'm gonna see where I end up. I'm kind of nervous, guys. I am very nervous, like to meet friends within that. Like my first experience of church as well, I don't know what it is. I was literally, when I had a bad experience, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, I was at work and this woman came up to me and she was like, excuse me, like I just feel like I really need to pray for you right now. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, do you mind if I hold your hand? I was like, why not? Like literally, why not? So she held my hand and then she was praying for me, and she was like, you know, I just feel like you're a little bit unhappy. And bearing in mind, I had a full face of makeup, like I hadn't cried that day, like I was okay, but I was going through a bit of a rough time. And then it just really baffled me, like, did she really have that spiritual feeling to come towards me or what? I don't know. And then it's like when I went to church with Lara the other day, what day did we go to church? I think it was this Tuesday. Like two people came up and I was like, excuse me, do you mind if I pray for you? And I know that that's a very like normal thing to do, especially when you're in church. But I was stood there and Lara was stood there. And I don't know if you could tell that we were with each other or whatnot, but we stood next to each other. And no one asked to pray for Lara, but two people asked to pray for me. And I was a bit there like, do I look sad? Do I look scary? Do I look what? Or is it an actual calling? I don't know. But either way, they prayed for me and it's quite nice. So yeah, that's that, and we will see where this journey takes me. I'm kind of looking forward to taking you girls along the journey. Well, girls and guys, whoever's watching this. But yeah, we will see. But by the time the end of this year, I would like to really be a woman of good faith. You know, that's what I'm praying for. So yeah, thanks for watching my video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.